I think it's time for us to deal with the elephant inside the room. R. Kelly was the primary corporately backed P-file. Everybody knew. Once the issue got here out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene. The point changed into, he knew all the time. For 20 years, Jay-Z refused to speak out towards R. Kelly, however his former partner, Dame Dash, gained stay silent. Aaliyah is fundamental to the whole thing. Aaliyah and I have been very critical. We mentioned getting married, so I knew exactly what went on. She'd just be like, no, that's an awful, horrific guy. R. Kelly did certainly marry his protege, the 1512 months antique singer Aaliyah Houghton. Like, Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that. 212 months old rising celebrity Aaliyah has been killed in a horrific plane crash. It's a pain that you couldn't recognize. It changed you, it grew to become you into a monster. When Dame turned into it at his lowest, Jay devoted the remaining betrayal. I had so much agree within my brother, but he did matters that I concept he could by no means do. So, what you suspect I felt a majority of these years? For 2 decades, R. Kelly's energy protected him. At that time, we did not appearance tough enough. You do not forget Aaliyah's album cover. Age ain't nothing but a number sitting again there like Perv Master. I imply I wasn't there. You realize don't have anything to do with that. Kelly, Dame, and Jay were inseparable as they built an empire together. You've been Jay-Z when you consider that the start proper? So, I imply yeah, for about 10-15 years. Jay-Z and Dame came from Road Cash to beginning a label that. No one wanted to sign Jay-Z, so they created their personal and grew to become round and got him well known to where he got a deal. They were given a deal at Def Jam. You recognize, we all realize we're a own family at Rossi Afella. Jay's my high quality buddy. I'm now not ashamed to say it. I love you, man. I love you, guy. And we all recognize this, we're close. And that's one of the reasons why we're so tight as a family. Dame usually fought for Jay, even when no person else could. I took it greater non-public than business purpose. I changed into combating for my friends and my brothers in preference to people I didn't know. This is the man that came into corporate offices, and when they was robbing us, he made positive we were given what we were purported to get. And we built this from nothing, not anything. So there's nothing that we can't see our manner through. But when Dame met Aaliyah, everything modified. She became one of these people that if she did something first, anyone observed match. Because she changed into a very ahead philosopher. Now not handiest, you've got your self-titled album coming out. We just heard that you had been showed for Matrix 2 and The Matrix 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, congratulations. I experienced so blessed due to the fact the whole lot that I've continually wanted is taking place to me, and I just experienced like I actually have so many places to head and so many things to enjoy. But I've in no way visible everyone that was going to affect the world like she did. Despite the fact that she went through loads of bulls, nonetheless very harmless and now not jaded. Aaliyah could see a specific aspect of Dame, but as they were given closer, there was one factor in their way. Our goal at the start wasn't even to be in love. We have been just sincerely good buddies and we fell for real. It was almost a twist of fate. My friend, Natane, delivered me to this photo shoot in LA, and it turned into referred to as like the It Girls, and had been talking about things, approximately your soul and the evolution of your soul, and that became in which our connection came. We developed an actual friendship, however, it turned into constantly apprehension caused different people were seeking to get at her. And then, I bet Jay turned into looking to get at her as properly, and I didn't recognize. He changed into sending plant life, and he turned into courting her. Cause the rumor initially became that it had been connected to Jay. Exactly. Jay and I were putting out a lot. He's my homie. We have a whole lot of a laugh collectively, but we in no way dated like that. I MMA leave it at that. So you have a boyfriend to your existence? It's private life. That's private? That's the non-public existence. I don't in reality discuss it. It's difficult. While you're on this enterprise, you become a public figure. You already know what I suggest. And everything you do belongs to the general public, and that's fine, but there's parts that you want to hold for you. Dame knew how important Aaliyah's privateness changed into because she'd been beneath attack for her closing relationship 5 years in advance. Hip-hop superstar R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 1512 months old singer Aaliyah Houghton. That was a headline. That changed into something pointed out find it irresistible turned into regular. Did y'all ever communicate approximately it? We mentioned it as much as the point where it hurt. As Aaliyah spread out to Dame, he discovered just how darkish the relationship with R. Kelly were. We had been out on the road with Aaliyah. On an excursion bus, there genuinely aren't any restrained spaces, so in an order that came about, we had been all laying in our bunks while the door flew open at the bus. What did you see? Things that an adult need to not be doing with a child. Dame might do something to protect Aaliyah, however his partnership with Jay positioned him in a tough role. You ever have red meat with R. Kelly even as you turned into with Aaliyah? She just desired it left on my own. So that's the factor that humans might be like when Jay was doing motion pictures with him. I become alleged to be in the video, but I'd be like, yo, what do you want me to do? And she'd be like, don't start nothing. Simply don't be in no photographs with him. And she didn't want to address the bulls, like the things that had occurred within the past. She told me, leave it by myself. I might need to appreciate her want no matter what. And her want become, leave it alone, permit me heal, let me rest, permit me, I'm in love. Permits simply enjoy this as their dating grew. Everybody around them could see how Lot's Dame and Aaliyah meant to every different. You recognize the thing changed into she become long past loads, so the time that we had collectively, it become like we appreciated it. They had been in heaven. Nothing from the out of doors simply were given in their way. And she was so happy. She changed into so glad. It became just like the first kind of time that she had located this form of peace and happiness and the identical element for me. I didn't understand what being in love was. I didn't even apprehend what that feeling is, and I turned into able to clearly obtain that with her. So now I recognize what it looks like. So you were in love together with her? Yeah, completely. What became your remaining verbal exchange with her? I didn't want her to do the video. Which video? She was taking pictures of video in Miami. Yep. And I had my son and my nephews with me, and she become very supportive, so I changed into like all proper, I'm gonna come down there, I'll bring the youngsters, make a holiday, paintings, the whole nine. Remember she used to babysit you? Yeah, it was a number of fun with Aaliyah. But when Aaliyah told Dame that she needed to fly to the Bahamas to finish the video, he changed into determined for her to stay. I advised her like I didn't want her to go. And that's kind of flew up purpose that became one of the reasons why she become in any such rush to get lower back, and even while she got at the aircraft, she didn't like the aircraft. So considered one of her remaining texts was, I don't just like the aircraft, and I literally turned into, like, don't get on. Damn. I literally changed into, like, don't get on it, and if I'd have been an asshole that day and without a doubt stood at the back of what I believed in, she wouldn't have got on that aircraft. Hollywood lost a growing superstar with the dying of 22-year-old R&B superstar Aaliyah. Tell me approximately that day. Where had been you? I became getting my hair cut and I become expecting her. She'd become looking to get again in reality quick due to the fact we had been seeking to see every different. The small, twin-engine Cessna erupted into a fiery nosedive just minutes after leaving the Bahamas, in which Aaliyah turned into shooting an upcoming track video. Her mom, known as and he or she said she had, Fatima had referred to as and said that there was an aircraft crash and Aaliyah changed into in it, and as soon as I heard, I knew it became true. My cousins and I all heard it, and there was like 10 folks we have been just all crying down the line, after which I saw my dad and he become simply devastated. I truly never saw him that low. I feel like emotionally he had hit rock bottom. It became probable like one of the worst days we ever had. You also said that her demise, it changed you, it became you right into a monster. Yeah, it made me fearless, reason I know what actual pain feels like and I've handled it. There can't be nothing worse than that. We absolutely have video at her funeral in which you're very emotional. Remember that day? I don't revisit it regularly as it hurts, however plenty turned into happening in that second. I suggest I still needed to get myself collectively in combat cause there have been things that were taking place. Dame slightly had time to grieve when simply 5 months after Aaliyah's death Jay-Z did the unthinkable. Just the idea of having a whole album with myself and R. Kelly was just an outstanding prospect. Best of both world tours coming to a metropolis near you. Best of both worlds t-shirts, drawers, condoms, everything. How do you address that whilst a person you recognize does some ish that you don't foo with in any respect? You gotta keep in mind, as soon as I knew Aaliyah, I knew everything. So yeah, if me and you cool, and you already know that I were given a lady that your man are at, and I inform you and you like you're gonna nonetheless paintings with him, what you gonna experience. So what you think I felt. Even as new allegations came out, Jay seemed the alternative way. Kelly is accused of videotaping himself having sex with an underage woman. Prosecutors hold the woman within the video turned into as young as 13 whilst it turned into maid. I imply I wasn't there, you understand what I'm pronouncing? Like I recognize that. I understand I had nothing to do with that. That's loopy to me. Your partner, your company. Yo, he's not my accomplice. Look how my partner played me. You calling him my partner? Publicly, that man did a document with that Nye that R.Ed my lady and then went on a tour with him. But I had to appearance the other way. And due to the fact my female stated, leave it alone, I left it by myself. You left it alone. Period. Dame couldn't break his promise to Aaliyah, however his anger turned into spiraling out of control. Rumors of a developing rift among Jay-Z and Dame Dash. The Rossi Aya CEO becomes stuck crashing an advertising meeting at determined company Def Jam, accusing executives of looking to cut him out. This is treacherous. You can electronic mail me, Damon. I'm telling you, I'm ill of this esche, seen all why all the day prior to this. Why no one advised me about an advertising plan approximately Jay-Z. How do y'all call a meeting approximately Jay-Z without Rockefeller? There ain't even no person from Rockefeller in here. No, we gotta reschedule, man.